Hey, this is Brennan, and this is
Brett.
Welcome to Warlord Academy Online. Today, we're going to walk through some of the ways that you can grab people across their kit and across their armor, and some things that you might not have thought of, and how to gain good grips and good control on your opponent when they're in kit. So, Brett, why don't you start us off?
Okay. So, I find in order to get good control with grappling, a lot of times the most important thing is to find and secure a grip. So it's one of the first things that I want to do. I think some important things to note with this, especially if you're a sword and board user, is you should get very comfortable with using this offhand or using your fingers on your shield hand to hook into different places. A great example of where we can start with this is going to be the elbow cup, right? So if he has his arm out here and I'm trying to get control, one of the first things I want to do and look to do is see if I can get my hand on his cooter, on the elbow, and use that to pull and break my control, or break his control, but also get my own, right? And this is a really big deal because if I'm just holding him down, it's very easy for him to pull out, right, and reset. Whereas if I can get control of this elbow, it's very hard for him to go anywhere, all right? And there are points like this all across a person's body depending on what kit they're wearing and what kit they're using, right?
And another one that I might go for, if we just wanted to look at this, is I can hook in behind here, and I can hook in behind his shield. I can also hook in, I can get the same one here, but really the shield's the obvious one for me. So I can just reach around this edge and grab this and lock it. Even if I've got a weapon in here, I can still come back and lock this with my sword edge and get a good pull on this. And again, it allows me to force this down, and he can't really get out of this if I can get this to maximum extension. He's locked out at this point.
Right. So, I'm going to go over a couple of things, a couple of different areas that I would like to grab, that I look to grab. I think he'll go over a couple with you real quick, but really what I want to encourage is right after this gets done, during your next practice, during the next time you get together with a buddy, do some grappling in armor and just explore what there is to grab. Because getting an actual hold of something is just so much better for your control than just hooking over. So basically, I want to look anywhere I can get an edge. If he's wearing a singles kit like this, right, the back of the shoulder becomes very easy to grab. All right, same thing on this side. Back of the shoulder, if I want, comes very easy to grab. If I'm coming up beside him, like he was, wrestling with one of his buddies right here, right? I guess turn the other way would be better, right? If I'm coming up beside him, often the edge of his brig is a great place to get good control because this is attached to his entire chest, and now I can really move him, right? Another one is his weapon, right? He has to hold on to this, right? So if I can get a good grip on this weapon, especially if I can get him to let go with this hand, because I'm so close to his hand, I can really pull him around using his weapon and gain a lot of an advantage because he can't let it go, right?
And the trick there is what he just did when he grabbed me. The first thing he did is he pulled it in close to his body. Once he pulled it in close to his body, I don't really have any leverage out here anymore, and he's got a lot of control of it. The only way for me to get any control back is I've got to step in close, and now I'm in a bad situation that he can anticipate and work with.
You want to go over some of the stuff you're looking at?
Sure. So the first thing that I see here on Brett is just a big grab to the outside of his gauntlet. It's very easy. These gauntlets have huge bells on them, even the low profile ones. All I have to do is kind of throw my hand out there and drag it back, and it just wants to hook automatically. I can do this with a shield or a free hand, and at that point I can really just move him around, and I've got really good control over him. The next thing that really sticks out here is I can get underneath his handguard. Almost all swords, even falcons, have this handguard that protrudes out the back. This one's actually not a great example because it's a little bit smaller. Most of them are actually bigger and easier, but even with this one, I can get that hook, and again, very hard for him to get out. The last thing that's really obvious over here is that I can get down and get under this pommel. And if I can get under this pommel, that gives me a good control here as well. I can lock it up on this hand and just grab it and pull. It's really difficult for them to get loose. I can slip it under this handguard, but you've got control at 3 points on the hand, all of which are pretty good options.
Right. Absolutely. Anything else?
Well, let's see. Of course, there's the tutor on the outside here, but you can also get down inside someone's forearm guard, depending on how it's constructed. A lot of people have a little bit more space than they need, and that's really good. Speaking of which, if you can, adjust your kit so that you minimize these sorts of grips that are available. Having this sticking out here a long way doesn't do anything for you and does do a lot for your opponents. You can also get to the back of a rear brace here on some people, but on some people you can't. It would be hard to get this on Brett, but might be possible. His shoulders go so far around that while this is theoretically possible, practically speaking, I wouldn't try for it at first. I would say that that's probably not best. You might think that you could get up here, but his ab and tail covers this and makes this impossible to actually get a hold of by the time he's wearing a helmet. So those are kind of the obvious things I'm seeing from that side.
Yeah, awesome. And once again, I think what I would suggest for you to do is go do some armored grappling and just explore what you can get a hold of, right? Actively look to grab a hold of parts of their kit so you can understand where the control points are. Because this isn't going to only help, this won't only help you control them better in the grapple, but it will make you so much more effective when it comes time to for takedowns and throws because of good grip to put them off balance to finish the throw.
Absolutely, and anytime that you can get control of them, you're one step closer to being towards the end of the fight. Because at this point, you have control, they can't get away, and you're setting the pace.
Awesome. You want to get it?
You do the thing.
Oh, I'll do the thing.
Okay, so you do
All right, thank you. This has been Warlord Academy Online. Like, subscribe, comment, and, have a good
lots
one.
of people to the ground when they don't want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Have a good one.